Hello there. I'm Protege. I'm going to be taking a look at a replay for Zingor. He couldn't, his replay is bugged or something, so he couldn't see it, and he wanted someone to look at it, so why not? He's playing Sona this game. He is playing a Sona Triss lane versus Soraka Varus. So Soraka right now is pretty weak. She doesn't really have the ability to do anything in this lane. She's going to sustain Sona Poke, but Sona Trist has a lot better of an all-in, and so they'll win straight-up fights. So what they should be looking to do is force those fights pretty early, pretty often, especially if they can push, which they should be able to. They have early poke that Soraka won't be able to sustain, and they also win the all-in fights, because Soraka is pretty weak until she gets her armor buff pretty high, and even then, Tristana's going to half that healing, and they're still going to out-damage it, and Soraka's not going to do much else. Soraka might win really extended fights if they get behind, just because her Q stacks will amplify Varus' blight damage, and that could be a problem for obvious reasons, just because blight hits pretty hard. If you're hitting true damage, percent max health, you're going to be hitting pretty hard. As for Ninja Masteries, he took 21 armor from Masteries, and actually I'm not sure, he has a lot of armor right now. So I think that's armor reds, but he also has some flat pen, so I'm thinking he might have done like 4 or 5 hybrid pen. I can't tell Masteries. So he's doing a smart thing with his Q. You always want to get 2 stacks so that you can auto-Q auto in lane, and just instantly poke someone down for about 150 health. Your power chord serves as an auto attack reset, which means that you can auto and then hit that button and then auto almost immediately again, instead of having to wait the normally second and a half between your autos. Those that you put out really good damage that you get a free auto attack basically by not hitting another Q to fully stack your passive. So I guess Jhin was AFK, so he's gonna come and he's gonna be really behind the jungle. It's pretty bad. So I come to lane. By the way, I have not seen this replay before, so I don't know what's happening. So this is a good use of a minute ward. You don't want to put a full minute ward here, 3-minute ward here, because if you push up, it's going to be pretty useless. They also ward here, so they know that Soraka's coming up to ward, and they go for some poke, so that's good. So that's really good. They just pretty much won the lane. If Sona had Ignite, they actually could have forced Rocket Flash. Oh wow, they just get a first blood. Okay, the Soraka played that really poorly. She didn't exhaust, she didn't flash, she didn't really do anything. I don't think she even cast a W on herself. But that's still a good pickup. That was a nice ward up there. Against better players, it might be a bit of a waste, just because you don't expect people to kind of go up there and ward that early. But I guess it worked. Just because you don't ward that early, because the jungler couldn't be there till 3 minutes anyway. But I guess it worked here, because sorry, you don't ward here, because the jungler could not be here until 3 minutes. So now would be a good time to ward it. I mean, it worked here because the Soraka did the same thing and went to ward early and died for it. But you know, that could be an issue. It might not be anything you might back anyway, but it might be one of those times where if you'd waited, you could have had a minute longer in lane while being safe. They also managed to pick up a kill on Varus. He didn't respect their damage. They got a really early level 2 off of earlier lane minions and the kill, so they got the slow and the extra damage and killed Varus, even though Varus popped both summoners. And all it took was Tristana summoners, so that's a really good trade. They push it in a turret, so Varus gets done. He just gets his 3rd CS when Tristana's already at 13. I presume Sono you were typing or something. I'm going to turn it on this way, actually, so that way you can only see what you know. So they see Zac mid, they don't need a ward here. Now that Zac's missing, I'd probably go up and ward this pretty soon, because Zac's jump could go from here, and you guys are dead. But you guys back off. Ward this, it's good. Your start was pretty good. I'd maybe take one more health powder for mana pot, but yeah, so that's the Tri-Ward is very effective against Zac, and it's almost mandatory just for that reason. He can always gank from here, and his jump is long enough range that if you don't respect it, it's very easy to die, especially when you're pushed up. When you're pushed up, that would basically be an insta-kill. Tristana had a really quick jump away, which is good, but even with that really quick jump away, she's either going to be forced back, or you're going to not be able to push your advantage. Right now, you could be pushing your advantage pretty hard. Your higher levels, or you're already level 3 to his level 2. You're going to hit level 4 first. But by not respecting that, now you're basically being zoned. Zac's still here, which is fine. Your team should be doing stuff. I don't know if they are. Um, but again, Zach's still here, so you guys can't be aggressive anyway. So I guess it doesn't really matter. But it also does force you to just heal up Tristana a lot, which is mana you wouldn't have available to spend, which would be nice. So it looks like you go a little too aggressive there and die. You didn't respect the Varus slow and the Varus damage. He already had, I believe he had Blight Sex on you already. So gonna go back and check that. So you take free autos here, which you never want to trade one auto for one auto with an 80 carry. So right now you're thinking, okay, I have good health, I have my W on, I'm pretty tanky. But you take the auto there, you get silenced, so you can't do anything else, and you get slowed and die. So you need to be a little bit further back. You had a ward here. You need to respect the Zac jump range and the Varus damage. In addition to that, I noticed you had Pickpocket. It is personal preference for masters, but Pickpocket's really not a strong mastery. At the end of the game, this is going to be a 40-minute game, and you probably won't get more than 150 gold for it, which, if you do the math, is like 4 gold a minute, which is, what, like, less than 1 gold per 10. For a late-game master, that's pretty weak. What did I skip? Okay, I skipped a lot there. I'm going to actually just go 8 times for it. So, come back. Zac jumps in. So here's where you probably should have warded that try, because you would have avoided that jump, and Tristana would have been Solera. Let's go some more. So here you die. You have 700 gold. Probably gonna go Ruby Crystal, some new wards, and a couple pots. One thing I'd say, okay, so Philistone, I don't like Philistone as an item. I know a lot of people do. I think that right now, it gives you poke. Especially in this one, I don't like it. It gives you poke and sustain for their poke. But they have Soraka. They're the king of sustain. You don't want sustain, you want all in. And Sightstone gives you all in. Just because of the raw health it gives you. Right now you have 700 health. So Ruby Crystal would be a like 25-30% buff in your health, and therefore your all in potential. It would basically make you unkillable in this low damage lane, and sustain is only going to let you stay in this lane. You're not going to be able to push your advantage and bully them out. You have a Bilgewater Cutlass to their Doran's Blade. You don't want to be sustaining right now. You want to be attacking. Tristana went a lifesteal item just because she wants Blade, and that's a fine choice. I didn't see how much gold she had, but that's a fine choice. But that doesn't mean that you need to be going sustain here. The advantage would probably be better if you were be easier to exploit, I'd like to say, if you had raw health to win all-ins. To basically just brute force all-ins, say, I don't care about minions, I don't care that I'm a little out of position here, I have extra damage. And the extra damage comes from the extra tankiness to let you stay in. So another thing I'm noticing is you're not really doing as much as you could for your auto. So I'm actually going to back up about 30 seconds when you came to lane, and play at half speed here, so you should be a little bit further up. Especially when these minions are low, like right now, if you're up here, you could get a free auto. Free auto Q, which is 150 damage. But you're playing really far back, and so you're not able to get this free poke. So even though you have the sustain, you're not abusing it. You're full mana right now. You're almost full health. There's no reason to not be up, and now you can trade an auto for an auto, because you have more sustain. You force Soraka heal, which is on a much longer cooldown unless you basically all in. But instead you're kind of staying back and playing passive. One reason for that is wards. You don't have any ward control. So, you know, Zac could be here. So if you're worried about that, you could either ward over this, or, now that Zac's top, how long has he been top? I'm not really good at watching the minimap when I'm doing replays and stuff. So, because he's top, you couldn't play aggressive, and so now I guess you do. But you never want to be in a position where you're trading 2 for 1. If your Tristana's back, sorry, I'm actually going to go back and look at this again. So, right now, your spacing in lane is such that you are in a circle around both of them. By doing that, you let them 2v1. If you are higher in your lane up here, Soraka isn't doing anything, and you can still 1v1. And right now, your 1v1 is just as strong as theirs. But by positioning yourself low in lane, you let them 2v1 you because Tristana's further back. So, what you kind of want to do for spacing in lane is imagine just a circle around each champion. You only want to be when you have a numbers advantage, or even if you're capable of 1v1. Right now you're capable of 1v1ing either of them, but you let them 2v1, so you got the silence, you couldn't Q, and then Varus poked you and you lost the trade. That was only by a little bit, so it doesn't seem that important, but it's a lot of those little trades that'll add up. Alright, going back to full speed. Tristana apparently has to AFK something, so you right now need a ward. Zac was here, you'd be dead. Zac is missing, he could be here soon. Very soon, but you're, I guess, not going to ward. No, okay, now you're going to. But again, this ward is really far back. You don't have the ability to see a Zac jump from over here. So what should have happened was when you were right here, you had the safety to go up here because you're stronger. They only have a Doran's Blade, you have a Doran's Blade Cutlass, you have items on Soraka. You guys are stronger in a fight, so if they come for you, Tristana comes, you win the fight. You needed to go up here and ward before Zac could be here. It takes about 35 seconds for someone to get from base to lane. For Zac with his jump, it's about 30 seconds. So as soon as he disappears, you now have 30 seconds till he can be there, which means you have 20 seconds of freedom to run up here and ward this without him being here. Now you can't go check it, because he could be here and just kill you. But you're going to push up, and now you're super vulnerable to ganks. So let's see. You walk into that. Whenever you see Varus charging a Q, try to avoid standing between them. So now you go up and ward, but if Zac were here, he would have killed you. Or at least for summoners, force you to get out, force you to be low in lane, force you to basically give up your advantage right now. So Soraka heals, you now have 18 seconds, you go in, try and make sure your power chords are always Qs at this level. 25% damage doesn't really do anything, especially when he's not returning harass, whereas an extra 40 damage does a lot of stuff. So right now you're just poking, again, you need to be playing more aggressive in this lane, I feel like. Soraka's sustain is about, if she keeps it on cooldown, it's about 10 health a second. You can do more than 10 health a second of damage, but you're not stepping up to do it. Now, there it was because Zac was there, and you step back, and I guess you're AFK again. But the most of the times in this lane, you could be further up. So now Zac could be here, you guys need to be kind of careful. If Zac were here, you probably could have died with a very slow there. So you need to be more respecting of their jungler. If you know he's near, you could assume that the jungler is in the worst possible spot for you. So yeah, he still is here. You step up, he's gonna jump, probably. Yeah, Varus is running up. No. Okay, so you know he's here. It'd be helpful in the future to just ward a little bit closer to here. You don't need this vision over here, and this lets you see in there so you can see whether he's charging for jump. He might have backed by now. You don't really know what he's doing. So now he jumps, and you guys get the good countering, so that's pretty good. Zac flashes out, you guys go in, pick up kills. So that's good. Maybe work on your orb walking some. It wasn't an issue there, but for example, if you'd run over here instead of standing back here by minions, by orb walking during your attacks, you could have very easily gotten a killed him before he got away and therefore avoided. You would have had your ult here, and you probably could have saved Tristana. No, Tristana is going to live. I feel like I call him misplay there, but either way, if you'd saved your ult there by orb walking up here and attacking his minions with your Q instead of hitting, attacking his goblets or his little things on the ground, whatever those are, that Zac spills into when he dies. If you'd walked up here, hit him with your Q, he wouldn't have got away. You would have saved your ult. You would have killed Akali. So that was just like a little thing you could have eked an edge at there. And Tristana would, or not Tristana, Teemo would have been free to push, deny Akali. You just create a small advantage there that comes off of one kill. So now you guys need to back pretty soon. You have ward coverage dying pretty early, and Zac's already shown that he likes ganking bot. You still have both flashes, but you have no ult. You're poking, which is good, but you need to stay in there a little bit longer. So if you had stayed in a little bit longer here, so during this trade, so good, you're playing aggressive, you're trying to zone him. Come up. Okay, this time you got the Q auto, so that's good. But here, if you'd stayed up, Soraka, I just tried to point with my finger. Soraka was really far back. If you'd run up here, you would have stayed out of Soraka's range and been able to keep attacking. And so this guy would be even lower health than he is right now, which means, again, more zoning. You'd also would have got that Q proc on him instead of just hitting Soraka. And it basically just would have made your lane a little bit easier. Good poke. Varus hurts. Oh, he has a BF sword, so you guys really need to back here. Tristana is finally going to back. She has enough for her blade. Just from 4 kills, Jesus. Okay, so now I don't like this. You're staying in lane. Trying to get some gold. Okay, now you're back. But Zac could like be here, and you don't know it. And by staying, you're not going to be able to 2v1 them, so you're going to get some experience maybe. Okay, they're actually going to back off and buy. I don't think Grace has much money. Yeah, he doesn't, so he's not going to really get anything. They should stay in lane, but they aren't. Okay, now I guess they are. They could have just basically run up and denied you, but they didn't. Here it worked out because they left and didn't hard push it, but they're still going to deny Varus, or they're still going to deny Tristana. And now you haven't bought, and so now you have no wards. You're gonna have to back soon, and now your Tristana's gonna have to 2v1. If they back, that's fine, but they could stay and push because they know for 30 seconds that you aren't gonna be there. And yeah, so now your Tristana is getting zoned. If Soraka was more aggressive, at least she would be getting zoned. Soraka's just kind of playing in the backline for no reason. If she was up, they could easily hit a silence to get a lot of poke on Tristana before she could jump away. But they're not respecting her. Sorry, they're not respecting her. They are not realizing what they could do. So they could have zoned you there because you wanted to stay in lane, and even though you might be thinking, yeah, okay, I can pick up 3-4 CS here, that's good. Tristana should have lost 6 CS there. Now you're coming back to lane, you picked up Sightstone, it's fine, goodbye. So you see Zac mid. You ward this anyway. Again, I don't like the sword against Zac. You saw Zac mid, you didn't need to ward yet. Did he run down river or what? You saw Zac mid, you didn't need to ward yet, but you put a pink down to deny vision, except you're not going to see wards here. You're going to see wards here. So the pink doesn't really deny much vision. And it still leaves you vulnerable to ganks. So you still have to go ward this anyway. So it doesn't do anything except deny vision that's not important to you. That was a nice flash there, but Zac came in for a counter gank. You guys probably should have expected that. You saw him running down the minimap. Come down. You do pick up a counter kill, which is good, but you guys are going to get traded 2 for 1, and it was a shutdown on either 4 or 5 kills, so it's not really worth it. That was actually a really good play by you guys. If you'd had Try warded, you would have known he was there, and you probably would have gone in. But it was still good play. Wow. Zac messed that up. You should not have been able to live through that. I'm going to go back and see what happens. So he's coming along. He really does not respect you. Soraka should have walked up. She had heal. She had silence. I don't know what she was doing. She had ult. She could have saved him, and got you killed for that. You should have died. But I guess she didn't. So you're gonna come back, upgrade the Ruby. That's fine. Jumping back to lane. You guys are still a lot stronger. You guys still could be zoning, especially with the Kali top. Wow. The Kali top. Zac could be bottom, but it's not likely. But okay, now you got the ward. Let's see, is that gonna hit that? I don't think that's gonna hit that yet. It might. It's hard to say. But again, just put it a little bit closer down here. You do see this, but this is an important vision. Zac's not gonna jump from here unless you're like super pushed up, which might be possible with Tristana. But at the same time, he's already got you from here a couple times, and if you can see here, it's not gonna make the difference because he can always just jump from here and still hit right here. So this isn't as important to have vision on as this. So you see Zac mid, you guys could be zoning. And it looks like they're zoning themselves for you. You should be up here. You should either, you have no pinks because you pink this. So it says this word and down. Okay, but you see a Kali mid, or you see a Kali here. Okay, so I don't think respecting your poly damage there. She is Lich-Bane, that's a really odd build. If you had stepped up, so Akali, you could ult like right here. You know that Akali is going to jump to your carry. You can hit her mid-ult if you ulted right here. This way you'd hit Varus and Akali as she jumps. Again, right there you could have hit an ult. But instead you save it, and you die. You use ult there, but it's not going to be enough. You're still going to die, because it's Varus ult. When he had that up, you need to not ult, because he's going to hit it, and you're going to die. regardless, and now you don't have an ult for 130 seconds. So that makes you a lot weaker in lane for basically to delay your death by 2 seconds. Okay, so what you get? You got boots 1 and some pinks. That's good. You guys get dragon control. You don't do it. Collar's getting big now, so you guys really need to be wary of her. You need to focus her in fights. So exhaust is fine for that. She's gonna be your exhaust target, but you need to make sure that every fight she comes into in team fights you're ulting her. Okay, so you're doing a good job hooking them under turret. Yeah, Tristana goes in, forces flash and exhaust. And again, if you had exhaust, if you had ult right here, that'd be a double kill. But because you used it to delay your death, you don't pick up a second kill. He's gonna be able to come, and you're not even with him. You are gonna have to go in there, but you have to blow exhaust for the kill, and you have to take it instead of letting Trist have it. So if you'd either been closer up originally, or saved your ult, that would have been a double kill without you having to blow a summoner. That would be really useful to have against exhaust. Ash is gonna jump in here, and you guys can just double kill. Oh, you whiff your ult. That's bad, but again, it doesn't really matter because you pick up the kill. I don't know why he jumped in there. He thinks he's a lot tankier than he is. He only has a Spirit Golem, and you have Blade. You see Holly down. This is a really good back. Instead of trying to run away, just back off, and you'll live. And they'll come down and get nothing done. So that was good. So you come down here. You guys know know where they are. And it looks like you guys are going to force a fight. They got Trinity, which is kind of silly because he's going to ult away. They split. Your team goes for lead, but you stay for Akali. And okay, so just to saying, if you'd come here closer to the wall, she might have been in range for Xin to jump. Xin didn't have jump anyway. But if you're closer to the wall, it basically forces her back. You guys going to pick that kill. Okay, so that's good. Good dragon, good choice. They have no control over it. You didn't even need to pink that, honestly. Pink right now, denying them vision doesn't matter. You see Zach mid, they can't get a steal. And you can win the fight anyway, so they're not going to come. You have a 5v3. So here you go up. If you chase, you could probably go given your team speed and maybe got a catch. Your E gives 6% movement speed, which is really good because if Tristana got in range, she could jump and slow him and you guys get the kill, or at least force him to jump back and poke him low. You also go back a little bit here, so they're in range. No, they aren't going to initiate. You need to be closer. If you're closer here, you ult him, 4v1, she dies immediately. But because you're so far back, you don't get it. And so basically, Teemo gets poked out, you guys are forced to back. She's going to jump here, and again, you're not in range to ult. You need to be in range so that when Akali jumps on your carries, you can ult. And you need to be less afraid to just ult. If you'd save that pink right now, you could kill her here probably. Ult. Okay, pick up the kill without ult. You should probably ult here and flash away. Nope, you flash away, and the Trinimir's not going to be able to pick up the kill on Varus. If you'd stunned him there with your ult, you would have got the kill. It's something I also had an issue on for a while with Sona. Your ult's such a big part of your play that you're afraid to use it, basically because what if I need it next? But you need to not be afraid to ult, and you also need to realize when to hold it. That's obviously kind of contradicting, but for example, when you use it down here, you were going to die. It's not going to change anything. When you use it up here, you could have killed Akali, and Akali is the only person on their team that matters right now. Everyone else is, well, Varus is catching up. He's behind your AD carry. If you kill Akali, they don't have anything to do with it. Zach's behind. Lee Sin is not going to do anything. There's a Hydra Giant's Belt compared to Blade, almost IE Tristana. You need to not be afraid to just ult Akali and kill her, because you will kill her right now. She has no defensive stats at all. No health, no resistances, nothing. She's basically, I mean, you saw how much you killed her from like a quarter health on your own with 1 Q and 1 auto with your passive. So you need to not be afraid to just ult her, because you guys will just kill her. You come down here to clear her, which is fine, but unfortunately it is going to let your mid turret get pushed. In general, you having the farm, I mean, I guess if you save this turret of some damage, it's okay, but you having the farm isn't worth not being there to stop their aggression. Because if they had been 5 and you'd been bottom, they would have probably just been able to dive that, because you're your team's only CC. other than Xin knockup, which isn't very, it's just one target, not very consistent. Your team's only CC. So the Oracles is nice. You're gonna be able to pick up the stuff here, but your team, Tryndamere is going to split push. I guess he thinks that you guys come back. You should not be going in here. They could have gone on you, and you would have been forced to ult and do nothing. Which is obviously not good. It would have wasted your ult. But they didn't go on you. I guess they were too worried about your team, which is kind of passive play by them, but it's understandable. They're down kills. They feel behind, even though they're pretty even gold. Just because Tristana's so dominating right now, but Tristana was out of range. There's a lot of these like tiny little spacing issues that never get capitalized on, but occasionally they do get capitalized on, and so it's important to make as few of them as possible, because if it happens, you can lose fights and you can throw games. Tryndamere picks up a Kali, I'm not sure how. You guys are kind of wasting a lot of time chasing the Zac. He's not worth very much. He's 1 and 4. You waste your ult there. So let's see. You guys probably should have just been pushing mid here. You would have got a turret. I mean, this is solo queue, so it's a little hard to say that. So you see him charging jump, and then you still ult. You need, again, that's one of those times where if it's someone like Zac, he's gonna jump away. If he's charging his jump, you're not gonna kill him. The only chance you have of killing him is ulting him as he charges his jump, but he's probably not going to let you do that, so using it is kind of a high risk, low reward situation, because now a Kali can kill pretty much anyone on your team except Tryndamere. Because you're going to exhaust her, but that's still not going to be enough, especially if Varus hits a Q or something like that happens. Now luckily Kali's split pushing bots, so you guys are fine. You're going to come in here, and again, you could have just been insect there. Had ult, so this is one of those like little spacing things that could just get you killed. So you're alone on your team, you're way up ahead. You could drop a ward and then just insect you. Instead, he's gonna go for your team. And yeah, he's gonna kill Tristana. So that death could have been avoided by two things. One, if you'd stayed with Tristana and ulted the Lee Sin or exhausted him, Tristana probably would have lived. If you'd exhausted him right here, he would have gotten here. Wouldn't really have gotten in range. I don't know why Tristana did that way. She tried to push him back, but it let her get kicked. That was kind of misplay by her. Or if you just ulted him, Tristana would have run away and you guys would have been fine. But instead, you don't heal, because I guess you're trying to hold it because you think it's just a Lee Sin, but the Lee Sin's building damage. So you do kind of have to respect that and realize that Lee Sin building damage is a lot of damage. He can kill you on his own, or kill the Tristana on his own, but he didn't even need it there. Because she ulted him away, he just kicked her into his team. And got the kill that could have been avoided if you properly respected his damage and utility. So now you're kind of on your own here. You don't have vision. This is really risky. Like, really risky. You don't know if they're here. You don't know if they're here. I mean, you found Zac. What if he were 10 seconds later and Kip was here? You'd be dead. Now, that would have just been a free kill on you and they could have picked an objective. Instead, you back. They pick up the objective anyway. The team goes in and dies. You come in with oracles, get the kill. That's fine. So here you have an ult. Let's see what you do with it. Tristana barely gets that, that's a good ult. Maybe a touch earlier. The Sona ult's longer than it seems. If you'd done it a touch earlier, I think Tristana would have worked. So let's see. So you come in here, if you did it like, you have vision, if you were here, ult now. So you wait a little bit longer than you need to. And it lets them basically get into range, kill Trist. You also exhaust really late there. And you exhaust a target that he's not doing much. So let's look at what it would have done in this exhaust without so if you'd exhausted like here, he probably would have been fine. Instead, he gets the kill, you exhaust him, and he runs away and hits a kill. No, the Q still got full damage because he hit it, launched it really late. So if you'd exhausted earlier, you might have been able to save Triss, but as it was, you didn't really stop it. Wow, I very still got a work on that. Zin's just kind of attacking Bloblets, which is a mistake. And you guys are going to pick it up. So that was just poor execution in a team fight that caused that. So Teemo got caught, that's fine. You guys got a Kali, that's fine. Your ult came out a little bit late. You guys put a lot of damage into Soraka. That's not necessarily as important as putting it into other people. You ulted late, so they killed Tristana, and Tristana's really your only damage source right now. Jhin is fed, but he's going tanky. Teemo doesn't do anything, because he's Teemo, and he's behind. And Trin doesn't really do much, just because he's going to get focused out. So, you guys kinda can't teamfight. Like, a large part is your comp. If Tristana basically ever dies, you guys are gonna lose the fight. And so you need to be peeling for her very aggressively. As soon as someone comes in, CC them. Ult them, exhaust them, put a W proc on them. I haven't been watching to see if you're doing. W procs don't feel like they do much because it's not visible. It's not like your carry got hit for 3/4 of his life, and he'd be at 10% now instead of 25% if you hit him with a W proc. It's not obvious what it does, but it does a lot. Tristana's gonna come. Oh wow, that was really close. I don't know why Tristana's staying. Probably gonna come from behind the killer. Yes, Tristana. Again, that was a misplay. Nothing you can do by that. Tristana stayed too long. The pink is kind of useless. The tower already has vision on everything there. It's just kind of a waste of the pink. You're gonna come here. Teamo's gonna get kind of caught, but you're gonna get super caught. You get an ult off, but it doesn't do anything because your team's not in range to follow it up. So, what you're thinking here is probably something along the lines of, cool, I'm going to CC both of their two important people. Awesome. But let's look at what your team is doing. Not in range, not in range, not in, going for Soraka, and not in range to go on these guys. So he's going to go. Now, they're free, they don't have any CC from you. You have no CC in general, because your Zen is still going on Soraka, which is a misplay by him, but it's not something you can control. So there you did hit the W proc, that's good, but an E proc might have been better. An E proc probably would have slowed him. Oh, that wasn't even a proc, was it? I'm not sure. An E proc would slow him, let you get the kill. You are going to get the kill eventually. But again, your Tristana's not here, and so you guys can't win a fight, and you're trying to force one. Again, for that fight, you ulted people, and it was a good ult, but it wasn't at a good time. You guys didn't do anything with it. You guys needed to back off and not fight the 4v3 because your team is kind of scrappy. But you have no damage, whereas they have sustained damage from Zac. They have sustained fight from Soraka. They have sustained damage from Varus, and they have sustained damage from Lee. Actually, they have burst damage from Lee because he's going really aggressive. But you guys don't have the ability to bring Lee down and punish him for that through Soraka kills and through his innate lifesteal. Tristan's gonna get 20 back. She doesn't respect the silence. Most people don't. She was out of position and died, and you guys are gonna lose. So at this point, again, you are on your own. You even saw them placing a ward. Now you see them here, so it's fine. But you don't. You need to ward here or something, because you're gonna get caught here, forced out into Zac. I don't know what Zac's doing. Wow, nice steal. I'll say that. I don't know what Zac was doing. He should have came in, I guess, and just spited it. I don't know why he didn't. Nice steal though. That was really good of you to realize that you could go and get it. Folly goes too aggressive, picks up Teemo, but Teemo's worthless. Tristana picks him up, so now you guys can probably push this if you execute your team fit right. Yep, go on Zac, kill him. See a passive? I don't think so. No. So you guys kill the Zac, that's good. You guys should be pushing. So if you're gonna come here, that's fine. See again, Tristana in fights kills people. That's great. You guys can't fight without her. Like, now this fight, you just want a 3v4 without losing anything. They should have respected that. I think they don't realize how much damage Trist does right now, so they stayed to fight instead of backing off. But what should have happened is they should have run away and your minions should have pushed in. So your team should have had to go mid, but they aren't. They're going to go for an inhibitor, and they're probably going to get it. They're probably going to come and kill Trist. She's going to get home guards. Jhin jumps to the wrong person, and Tristana dies. So you guys didn't respect the fact that Akali was up and that you can't do anything against her. Actually, that's kind of what, I don't know why she didn't go in there. I think she could have. Actually her build's pretty bad, so that's why. If she'd gone like lifesteal or spell vamp, she could have probably cleaned that up. Just because people don't do damage. Trend does some damage, but if she'd built properly, she probably would have gone lifesteal Zonius and just kind of killed you guys there. So you're gonna come ward. I'm not sure I like this. If you'd run top, you could have saved Shin. But instead you went bottom to ward Dragon, and Dragon doesn't really matter right now. Like, your team's not in position for it anyway. You're gonna come here, and again, you play really aggressive with this. Like, they should just kill you right now. Zac should just jump you, and you should be dead. But they're not going to. But you still, just because they don't capitalize on a mistake doesn't mean that being that out of position isn't a mistake. Wow, your team tried to 2 on the Kali and she double killed him, so that's bad. Again, your team can't fight without Tristana. It's that simple. And you guys, I guess, aren't realizing that. Because you keep trying to force fights without Tristana. Okay, then you got him ward again. You could be caught right here. You have no coverage. When you're warding, the only time you can ward is when they can't be there. That's the only time it's safe to ward. And how do you know they can't be there? Well, you see a Kali top, you see them mid through minions, whatever. And then you're like, okay, I can ward because they can't be there, or they're not going to have one person there when, you know, Kali's top, their carries are mid. If there's one person there, I can just run. But now you went to ward when there weren't people visible on the map, and you could have died there. You pick up their Kali, and you guys do push out. Oh, that was... Triss flashed into that and he's going to die. That was a misplay by Triss. She should not have flashed in it. She should have just let herself be kicked because she was being kicked away from the Zac. She actually could have double killed there if she played that right. But now you guys are staying against Zac, Lee, Varus. It's like all super good chase, and you're going to die for it. So you guys don't die for it because Jhin goes in and Jhin dies for it, but then you guys chase him again. So you guys are going to get cleaned up. Wow. Okay, you guys aren't going to get cleaned up because they misplayed the fight horribly. So what should have happened in that fight is... So they go in. You guys are at a disadvantage because you don't have your Fed Triss. They don't have their Fed Akali, but your Fed Triss is more important. Jhin goes in. Jhin should die right here. And he does. Except... Lee goes on you. He misses his Q, he goes on you, he's like, okay, this is low health people, I can kill them. And they no longer do anything about trend, except, now that he's popped his ult, they just stay on him. Varus just like, literally just dies to him by staying on him through his ult. What should have happened is either they should have just ignored him, or they should have focused him earlier, and he should have died. So you guys, I guess, are gonna come out ahead on that fight? Yeah, it looks like, you're saying you don't expect the Kali, she's gonna run there. You need to just run there. You need to ping back because the Kali's up and the Kali can 1v4 you like she just did. Because you don't have the way to, you don't have any way to deal with her. You don't have exhaust, you didn't have ult. You need to just back off, and if your team didn't, you need to let it. Wow. That was a really long penta timer. But you guys just aren't respecting Kali. Right now, Kali is 20 and 8, and even if she wasn't, she can 1v1 any of you guys. I mean, she just 1v4'd your team after they blew some cooldowns. You don't respect it, and apparently she doesn't respect your towers. So let's see, now you guys gonna push out, get some map control back. But you guys can't push too far, so here you could have gone up and warded. Now that you're doing it, they could be here. It's a little bit of a timing, but like 5 seconds spent around here meant that they could have been here. Like if Varus Zac had run, instead of running down, really slowly, because we saw Zac here. If they just run up, you probably would have died while warding, and they would have just pushed in, retaken an inhibitor, got a new inhibitor, whatever. So you guys are gonna go for Baron. Or baited apparently. You can't be over here. Your team's over here. They can't. Like, they can kind of jump the wall, but that's going to be a bad fight for you, because anyone who jumps the... Like, team is going to be on his own. If they all jump the wall, they're going in blind. They don't know what's here. Like, you see Zac here, so it's a 4v5, but you didn't see a Kali, so she could have been there, and you on your own could have died. Or your team would have come in and they would have died. Again, you need to be saving your exhaust and your ult for a Kali. That's a nice play by Kali. She pops her Shroud to get the slowdown, and you guys aren't going to be able to chase. Shauna's going to go, and she's going to die. You need to be with your AD carry. Like, yes, that is a misplay by her, but it's a misplay by you to not realize that she's up there. So you get the kill here, or not the kill, the ult. If you'd been there, if you'd done that with Tristana was there, you guys would have killed. And again, it's fine for you to solo ult Akali. If you solo ult Akali, she's going to die, and you guys are going to win the fights. But you let Trist and you AFK here and die. You let Trist run away from you, and because of that, you aren't able to peel, and you just die. They pick up Baron, and they're gonna commit it in the game. Wow. Okay, so Akali dives, and dies for it. Really don't play by her. You guys are gonna try it and fight. You guys can probably win this. That's a lot of flashes. You guys can win this fight. So by Akali dying and Zac going top, you guys are gonna win the fight. Your wards let them chase. She's probably gonna just jump in and die. Yeah. Tristana plays really aggressively, and it's too aggressively. I don't know if she's normally plays Tristana or not, or if she normally she's a Xena Smurf, or if she's like normally a top laner, so she thinks she can go in. But she keeps getting caught, and you're not with her when she gets caught. And you need, like, even when your AD carry plays poorly, you need to adjust for that and be with them. Because if you'd been with her, you probably couldn't have known to flash ult this. But you could have given her W, you could have given her damage, you could have given her something. And in that case, it might not have been enough, but like in this Akali case, it would have been. So jumps in, polycombs you guys up. Good ult by Xin. So he did a very good job of actually not attacking there, so that he could knock them both away. But Akali flashes and dives. You need to ult her when the Zen is up. Ult her. You tried to, but she jumped away. So you need to either A, hold the ult and let her get a jump off, or B, have the timing down enough and add an arc so that even if she jumps, she still gets stunned. So like, I think the replay broke. The replay did break. Okay, there we go. So I'm just gonna fast forward times 8 to this. So instead of helping the Varus, you were farming minions. So Akali comes in, ults him away. She comes in again. So she Zhonya's. Now look where I'm gonna pause it. Look where your team is. Look where she is. If you're right here, your ult comes across. No matter who she jumps to, you hit them. But you're too far to the side, and so you aren't able to ult this way. Teemo comes in and he just dies because your ult misses because you weren't in a place where you could lay it down across the entirety of their team. And you need to be in that place, or else that's going to happen. It's possible you miss it, and you guys are going to lose the fight because of that. Tana jumps in. Like, you guys do kill Akali, but you guys are killing these things, and Trinity's going to die. You get out of position and die. So it's kind of hard because your Tristana should have been up there, but there's no reason to be up here. You can always be orb blocking back away from them, so you don't get caught in that 2v1 circle thing I was talking about. There's no reason to be here when they're here, because you can be orb blocking up, still have the same effect, and not be as catchable. And they're gonna come here, 3v5, 3v1. They're gonna win the game. They could be winning the game. They're gonna pick up an inhibitor. He's gonna die because Varus is fed like a god right now, and you guys are gonna lose. Alright, so if I had to point out like 3 things, I would say 1, be more aggressive in lane. And that just means that as far as the spacing issues go, you were you weren't properly warding to be aggressive. You didn't respect their jungler enough, and so you couldn't be completely aggressive. But this is a lane you needed to be more aggressive than you were in it. You picked up that double kill early, and that should have been a huge lead that you snowballed hard. But you didn't really snowball it. Other than the double kill you picked up when Zac had a bad gank bottom, you guys never really picked up anything off of it. You kept dragon control, which is nice, but your jungler never capitalized on it. I don't know if you asked him to and he didn't. I don't know what happened there. But if you didn't ask him, you should have said something like, "We're a lot stronger, but come gank and force dragon," or something like that. Or when Akali went top, one of those times you should have forced dragon, and you could have got a global advantage from your local advantage. Other than that, you were not with your AD carry enough. Especially here. Here was the most visible time. Tristana ran in. She should not have gone in. But when she did go in, you needed to not back off because it let her die. And that happened like 3 times in a row where I think there was this one, and there was one more. I think I mentioned it. Tristana just went in and died, and if you'd been with her, you probably could have saved her. Oh, I think it was this one. Where Lee jumped in, and I said, "You're too out of position, he's going to insec you." But Lee just went in for Tristana, and Tristana let him insec her. Whereas if you'd been in position to that, you probably could have stopped it. So you need to watch that your Tristana's the big person here. Tryndamere is farmed, he's scary, but he's not a tenth as scary as your Tristana. And basically because of that, you just need to hug your Tristana and peel for her. And that's your job, and if you did that better, I think you guys could have won fights and won the game. Not to say that you didn't play well enough to earn it. You had a Teemo who is worthless, and but everyone misplayed fights, but that's kind of to be expected. You're not going to get good team fights in solo queue, but you still needed to be with your Tristana, and you could have better utilized your lead if you'd been with her to peel for her. The third thing is the warding on its own. So it didn't actually hurt you at all this game. So it's very easy to say, oh well, it didn't hurt me, it's not a mistake. But there were 3 or 4 times where you should have been caught and killed, and they just didn't kill you. So 2 of those were like the one at Dragon where they just didn't for some reason, or the one like up here. There were a couple times when you did just get caught and get killed, like over here right before the Nexus went down. And then there were other times you just did it and it didn't matter, like when you went to ward Dragon, and when you went to ward up here, where they weren't there, but you had no way of knowing that. And they would have killed you if you were there and you would have lost it, so the advantage of warding isn't enough to justify the risk of just dying. Yeah, other than that, I'd say work on your spacing some. That's something I'd say to just about everyone though, because most players have really bad spacing. Especially at lower elos, people don't orb walk enough, and they constantly let themselves get in positions where it's a temporary 1v2. And it might only be like 3 autos that you take, and you only put 1, and you think, oh, well, you know, 3 autos, that's no big deal. But that adds up. It lets you stop being aggressive, and it can stop you from utilizing your lead. Speaking of which, get that ward further in. Let you see Zac, let you be a lot safer, let you do stuff. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope I did a good enough job, and yeah, have a good one.